Welcome back to GameOdyssey, and this is our history review on the PlayStation console. In 1988, Sony entered into an agreement with Nintendo to develop a CD-ROM attachment known as the Super Disc for the soon-to-be-released Super Nintendo. Due to many contractual and licensing problems, the Super Disc was never released. Instead, a modified version was introduced by Sony in 1991 in a system called the Nintendo PlayStation. The original PlayStation read the Super Disc's special interactive CD based on technology developed by Sony and Philips called CD-ROM XA. The extension of the CD-ROM format allowed computer data to be accessed simultaneously by the processor. The PlayStation also read audio CDs and had a cartridge port for accepting Super Nintendo game cartridges. The PlayStation was advised as the core of the home media center. Sony only manufactured 200 of them before deciding to retool the design. The new design would be dubbed the PlayStation X, or PSX. It dropped the Super Nintendo cartridge port and focused solely on CD-ROM based games. The component hardware inside the console was revamped as well to ensure the immersing and responsive gaming experience. Launched in Japan in December of 1994, in the United States and Europe in September 1995, PlayStation quickly became the most popular system available. The controller is the primary interface for the PlayStation, and just as the gamepad that came with the original NES was a radical departure from previous controllers, the PSX controller changed rules again. With its winged shape and abundance of well-positioned buttons, it is user-friendly and yet very powerful. The standard PSX controller has 14 buttons. They include 4 buttons arranged as a directional pad on the top left, start and select buttons in the middle, 4 action buttons on the top right, 2 action buttons on the front left, and 2 action buttons on the front right. Newer DualShock PS1 controllers have the analog joysticks on them, as well as the standard buttons. The games on the PlayStation 1 are CD-ROM based, so they are limited to a maximum size of 650 megabytes. But still, this was a lot of space at the time. In fact, most games do not use more than a fraction of it for the actual game. What can eat up the space are the incredible full-motion video intros and intermissions that PlayStation games are known for. There is a noticeable delay while the game is loaded with a CD, which you do not get in a cartridge-based games. Of course, trade-off for being faster loading is a significantly smaller amount of storage than on a cartridge. Because they are black instead of the traditional silver, the PSX CDs are very distinctive. But don't let that fool you. The CDs are just as susceptible to scratches and intense heat as normal audio CDs, even more so in fact, since a scratch on the CD can make it totally unusable. The games available for the PlayStation cover of the category is by far one of the largest game libraries of any console on the market today. The game prices range from under $10 for certain prepaid titles to over $50 for some of the hottest new games. If you like this history lesson today, make sure you smack that like button, and please hit that subscribe button if you want to see more history videos like this. I'm Grayson from GameOdyssey, and this has been a history of.